Hello there, everybody. Yes, it's the same day, and yes, I'm still in my pyjamas. Today, I thought I'd do my Doctor Who video today rather than doing it tomorrow, in case I just want to chill out. And yeah, as I explained in my previous video. So today is Doctor Who, and as I said, don't forget that next week, actually next Thursday, is the Doctor Who 60th anniversary, and they are actually they've actually colourised the first Dalek story. They've cut it down to, I think it's 75 minutes, and they've colourised it, and they've added bits, or they've taken, but anyway, that's on BBC 4 at 7:30, and that is also followed by the docudrama An Adventure in Time and Space, that goes in behind all the written by Mark Gatiss, and explains all the details of how Doctor Who came about, and William Hartnell and everyone. So don't forget to check that out on BBC 4. I think it's from 7:30. Yeah, the 11th hour is a great introduction to the 11th Doctor, and it sets up the whole fairy tale time of Doctor Who, written by Stephen Moffat. When the Doctor falls out of the sky, actually the story starts with Amelia on her knees praying to Santa Claus, and saying there's a crack in her wall, and then the TARDIS lands, the Doctor goes to investigate. Then I think it's 10, 15, 16 years later, he turns up again after promising that she could go with him to travel with him when she was a little girl. He turns up later, and she's all grown up, and she's a little girl. Not a little girl, not a little girl. What am I talking about? She's a lady, and yeah, she helps him uncover Prisoner Zero, and that whole thing. Yeah, that's a great introduction to the 11th Doctor, and it's just a really great story. It just feels like it's Doctor Who a little bit. And the whole fairy tale thing, and yeah, it's a really great story. And Matt Smith is brilliant in it. He actually based his Doctor on Patrick Troughton's Doctor. So yeah, it's just a great story. My favourite Doctor Who villains. Well, there's the Master for a start. I think the whole idea of the Time Lord race has created, or not created, but the Time Lord race has this one bad apple, and the Doctor, he's just as someone once called me, a lovable rogue, whereas the Master is totally opposite. He just wants to, I think I read in one Doctor Who book, the Master is the master of everything, but he's also the master of nothing. You have the Daleks, obviously, and the Cybermen. The Mara, which was introduced in Peter Davison's, I think, third story, I think it was, Kinder, about this snake, this thing inside Tegan's conscious, or when she goes to sleep with these chimes, and introduces the Mara, and it's this big snake. And then you had the sequel, Snake Dance, which was another great story. You had that. You had the Rani. She was another rebel Time Lord who was like the Master was a bad seed, and she was in trouble with the Time Lords for unethical experiments, and yeah, and then you also had the Weeping Angels as well. That was a good story, which I've also discussed before. That was a good villain. So yeah, there are some great villains, and there are some great. Also, notable mention must go to the Devil, when the Doctor plotted himself against the Devil, and that whole great, even though he doesn't believe there was life before time, and then he's confronted with the Devil himself, and so his whole theory of there was no life before creation certainly blows all that out of proportion. And not that I want to sound like a Bible basher or anything, but of course there was life before time. There was the big man. So yeah. Yeah, another great adversary there, and yeah. Now for the 12th Doctor story, Heaven Sent. This is basically Peter Capaldi on his own with this bird, and he's trying to break through this ice, this diamond thing, and he's also coping with the grief of Clara, the loss of Clara in the previous story. It's another great story, and Peter Capaldi just excels as the Doctor. He was the same age as William Hartnell was when he first started Doctor Who, way back in 1963. And I don't know why people get turned off by him, but he's just a brilliant actor. I've seen some clips on YouTube of his whole like he's in the thick of it, where he swears. I know he swears a lot, but he's just a great actor. He's just got something about it. I've actually seen him in The Vicar of Dibley. I didn't realise that was him, but he was very young then. He was also in there was a thing on which I'm doing next week about the store that Dover Cohen and her kids stayed in, and yeah, that was a great story, and he's great in that. And I'll if you tune in next week, there's a program on. There was a program on Christmas Eve starring Dover Cohen and Peter Capaldi, and so yeah, Peter Capaldi is a bloody good actor, and his Zygon inversion speech is just fantastic. It's just wonderful. Favourite Doctor Who stories. So, yeah. Caves of Androzani. Now that was always my favourite regeneration story. That was almost replaced by The End of Time. But that was when, because my dad had died, and he hadn't seen that story. So, yeah. Caves of Androzani, End of Time, favourite regeneration stories. Kinder and Snake Dance, brilliant stories. The Visitation. I know a lot of these are Peter Davison stories, but he was my favourite Doctor. The Jodie Whittaker story. The one with the lady who wouldn't get off the bus. For the life of me, I can't remember her name. Shame on me. Yeah, so yeah, that one. I actually like Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor. It's just a shame as some of her stories weren't great. Yeah, that was a great story. The one with the lady who wouldn't get off the bus. I can't remember what it was called. I do apologise. You know, I think I would do a bit more research about this, but sorry. Planet of the Daleks. That's a John Pertwee story, I think. Yeah, Planet of the Daleks. Sorry, just had to check. Sorry, just had to check. I'm going to check the Jodie Whittaker story as well. Sorry. Oh, what's the Jodie Whittaker story? Oh, I'll let you know next week. Sorry. I will have to let you know next week. I can't remember for the life of me what that bloody story was. I do apologise. I really do. I should be more rehearsed than this. But anyway, Planet of the Daleks was that one, and Planet of the Daleks was a good one. Daleks, the original Dalek story from William Hartnell's era, that was a good one. Colin Baker, The Two Doctors, Vengeance on Varos. Believe it or not, I do actually think in Colin Baker's short time as the Doctor, he did have some great stories. It was just all the stuff behind the scenes that he wasn't treated very well. That's the bad thing. Colin Baker wasn't a bad Doctor. He was given an over-the-top violent, as Terence Dicks said, he was given an over-the-top violent sort of Doctor, and that's how he played it. Although there are a few dud stories. The Twin Dilemma. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't a great Doctor Who story. Sylvester McCoy, his last season, Survival, Battlefield, Curse of Fenric. Tom Baker, Pyramid of Mars, his whole second series, Terror Zygons. Patrick Troughton, The War Games. All these were my favourite stories and great stories, and yeah, and as I said, The 11th Hour, the Weeping Angel story of Matt Smith's era, yeah, Dalek and Christopher Eccleston. These are all great stories. These are all my personal favourite stories. So yeah. These are all my favourite stories. Anyway, I'm sorry for not having done my research properly. I did this I did this on totally on a whim. I do apologise. Well, not on a whim, but I didn't do a video last week, and obviously I didn't do the proper research for this week. The favourite Doctor Who stories, because I decided I just wanted to have a quiet day tomorrow. So I decided, right, I'll do my Christmas video today, and then I'll do the Doctor Who one today as well. Get them all out of the way and over and done with. Anyway, I do apologise once again for not telling you, doing my research, and thank you again for watching, if you're still sticking around. Thank you very much. I shall see you next week with more Doctor Who related stuff with Jodie Whittaker. I will actually do Jodie Whittaker's best story ever. I will actually do that, and I will tell you the title, and yeah, I'll do that next week. And also don't forget to tune in next week as well. We've got the Christmas Telly 97, 98, 99. It's going to be a long one, people. And so yeah, next month, I want to address this now. I am not going to be doing any videos next month. I'm taking a break from social media, especially on my holiday during Christmas. I'll be just taking next month off. I will not be doing no more videos. I will, especially on my week off, I won't be posting anything. I won't be doing anything. I'm just taking an entire break from all of this. Maybe gather my thoughts, gather my what I'm going to decide to do with this channel. What, you know, just everything. Okay. So there'll be so there will be some videos next week, but they'll be my last ones. And obviously, I will take the opportunity to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And yeah, so next week is will be my last videos. So that's it really. Because I'm taking a break in December. It's not quite how I thought I would do it. Basically because I haven't been getting the views. So yeah. So anyway, that's next week. So make the most of it, because I won't be around in December. Until then, until next week, bye bye for now.